Local 2 Weather Authority forecast.
All right, well, welcome back, everyone. It is March, believe it or not.
It's
just
ready
doesn't
for you to say
feel like it.
Right, our weather trivia question, but that's at
I know, right?
5:15 in the morning.
Yeah, we're a little too late for that, but you know, February was ridiculous.
Yes.
We saw those temperatures way above average. March, maybe you were hoping it would be a little bit more seasonable.
Okay.
Not so much. Yesterday was all right. Yesterday we were in the 60s. That was reasonable for late winter, early spring. But today, back to that February heat, that oxymoron that we keep saying of February heat, because we're seeing more of that settling in, especially today, as we've got a chance for those highs to return up into the 80s. But first, let's talk about exactly what we saw yesterday, because when that air did start to cool down, it was all thanks to a cold front making its way down from the north. That was allowing some of that cooler air to really filter into West Texas and making its way down into the central part of the state as well. But you can see down to the south, 80s in Austin, Del Rio, Corpus Christi, Brownsville, and it's that kind of heat that's going to be returning to us by this afternoon. We're really going to see those numbers taking a major rise as we move through the rest of the day today. Unfortunately, any of these fronts that we do have moving through over the next couple of days are going to be very dry, and any of the impacts that we see are going to be short-lived, which is why, although we were in the 60s yesterday, we're going to see those numbers crank back up by this afternoon. And still, when I said dry, I really meant it. We're looking at exceptionally dry air all across the western part of the state. You notice we do see some of those greens in the eastern portion of the Lone Star State, but well, that's about all the humidity we have. For us, we're not going to be looking at much of that. A lot of dry weather settling in and going to be staying with us for quite some time now. Early this morning, those temperatures not too bad, 40s and 50s, really a fairly pleasant start to the day out there. We do still have a couple of spots flirting with the 30s, 38 degrees right now in Seminole and 39 in Snyder, but other than that, for the most part, it's going to be warm out there, and it's going to stay that way for quite some time. Some very gusty winds, just like what we saw yesterday afternoon, had those strong wind gusts out there, already getting into the double digits in Odessa, Midland, Hobbs, Guadalupe Pass, down into Alpine and Presidio. Going to continue to see more of those gusts, especially right around lunchtime. That's when things will really start to pick up for us. That's when our temperatures will pick up as well, getting into the 70s by noontime, already warmer than what we saw for highs yesterday, and then this afternoon cranking those numbers all the way up into the lower 80s. Put it all together, you get fire weather in the forecast, and that's why we have that fire weather warning in effect for the Guadalupe Mountains down through the Davis Mountains, and a good chance that some of that spreads off to the east. Could see some of that fire weather making its way towards the basin as we move through the next couple of days. For the most part, though, we're just going to be staying on the warm side going forward. Highs getting up to about 83 degrees by this afternoon, and could see those 80-plus degree highs staying with us over the next couple of days. Another 80-plus degree day on Friday and Sunday, a little bit cooler into next week, but for the most part, it's just going to be staying hot out there.